Hello, welcome to another episode. And today we have Ma Museum, our native researcher called Charles. So, Charles is a Maasai, and as the word Maasai means, so I'm going to ask him what does Maasai mean?
Wow, Masai is the name of the tribal, one of the tribal people of Kenya, well-known people and people who have been able to safeguard their culture and heritage. But Maasai specifically has two meanings. Meaning number one, Ma, meaning they speak the Ma dialects. So these are communities that speak Maasai, and they include Samburu,
Mhm.
the Maasai of Kajiado and Narok, including the Maasai of Tanzania, northern part of Tanzania, and the Parakuyo Maasai in the coastal part of Tanzania. So are those who speak Ma dialects and Ma language.
Can you?
Meaning number two for
Uh-huh.
Ma, it comes from the word mas ake, meaning I can't do it. So a Maasai is such a unique person that you'll bring education, you'll bring new Western ideas, new way of doing things, you bring Christianity, but because his constitution guides him, then you will say, Masake, I can't. Take children to school, I can't. Masake. So a little bit of a difficult man, but again, anchored within his unwritten constitution of the Ma.
Okay. When it comes to tourism, why do you think tourists choose Maasai and not any other tribes in Kenya? What's that it's so interesting about the Maasai?
The Maasai are the face of Kenya. The Maasai are a global trend. Why? Because they have safeguarded their culture, their traditions, their way of life today. Despite the influence of education, influence of church influence, westernization, the Maasai has remained a little bit ahead to really be influenced by these religions. Because a Maasai has land and lives with nature. It's a nature person. And why then the influence will have negative side of his life. Because if he keeps cattle and this is the source of his food, then it will be very difficult for him to live with the cows in a town or in a city. And that's why mostly they still come back to Nairobi with their cattle, because again, this was their home. This was where they used to bring their cows to drink. So Nairobi derived from the word and Nairobi meaning cold water. So that is it. And I think you know now.
Yeah. So Masai, people come to see the Masai. Then you guys will always jump. The women doing that thing with the neck and the head. Do you have sports, or is jumping and what women do part of sports?
Maasais have their own form of sports, right? And it could be through singing, it could be through hunting wildlife. It is also part of sports. But now they really safeguard the lions, and that type of sports has been replaced by other types of sports, like the Maasai Olympics, which is a very innovative idea introduced by Big Life Foundation for them to hunt trophies and not to hunt lions. So this is part of conservation initiative for them to be able to have these World Olympics, Olympic Games done every 2 years, supported by Big Life Foundation, to ensure that they get into conservation, and Morans, of course, are involved in this particular Maasai Olympic Games, because it's the Morans who kill lions. It's not the elderly, it's not the mothers. Actually, they escort the mothers and they meet in the bush. So once he finds a Moran dressed in red, will mean this is dangerous, and the Maasai can kill this lion. And they use their eyes to see whether you are a coward, whether you fear, whether you are trembling, you know. That's how this lion can analyze and know whether you are brave or coward. And that's what red means, right?
Yeah.
It is actually their color of braveness and courage of doing things that other people cannot do. Do you kill lions? Does your community kill lions? They don't. But Maasais will definitely kill a lion. But today they don't kill lions. They safeguard lions. They are employed as drivers in tourism sector. They are employed as rangers, and they safeguard wildlife, not as before.
Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
So you talked something about your attire. So can you tell me all this, what it means, the beads, the horns, and these, how is it called, this, the
This is called embarge,
embargo?
or yes, it is one of the sticks which is black that demonstrates leadership, and this is only used by the senior leaders of the Maasai.
Okay.
The Maasais have their own hierarchy of leadership. They have like Guanani, who is similar to a governor. They have a Lotnot, who is similar to a senator. They have a governor with the CC, the CC, and he has 9 people under him. Then we also have the Loibon, who has also special roles of guiding the community, of foreseeing what might not come well. So they foresee the future too. But again, this is their attire, this is their dressing, this is their identity, and this is their belonging. You can only compare another person by the beads, which are of course made by women and sold also to tourists, and it becomes a source of income,
Yeah.
and they can use this money to take their children to school, to buy food, to go to hospital, and do many other things like businesses, and buy food and sell, or buy goods and sell. So a Maasai is signified, is demonstrated by its beads, the beadwork, the regalia, the red clothing,
Yeah.
and they all have a significant purpose. Like women who are married have special beads that you can know this is a married woman. Or if she has big sons who are married, they are also those beads that tell you that. But again, more importantly, when it comes to colors, some of the colors are also related to their god, which is the sky,
The blue
white
sky.
and blue.
Oh, yeah.
It means it is also their flag. So once you have ceremonies like in Kpata for the rite of passage for boys, they will put their flags, and definitely it will have blue and whitish, cloudish color of the sky. White also demonstrating peace, purity, and milk is also white again. So these are some of the colors that are very unique to Maasai life and their traditions and their culture, which is of course part of their identity and belonging.
Okay, when we talk about the beads, do the women also wear the beads on their waist like these modern ladies in Kenya lately? Or are the beads only on the neck and after they've worn the red attire?
The Maasai original women wear beads. Samburus, they also wear a lot of beads and even more colors, and that's why they are called butterfly people. So women will wear beads based on their characteristics. If they are married, if they are newly married, they will have special beads, but most of them will put beads as part of beauty, part of identity of a Maasai, to show that you are a Maasai person and you belong to the Maasai community and to the Maasai tribe. What was the other question?
If they put it on the waist.
Waist, it depends. There is one that they put there that is inside, worn by, of course, women. It's also part of beauty, But again, some of these colors and some of these beads have special meaning, Some of them are, we have beads that will also prevent what we call the evil eye, right? Because if somebody looks at your child who's just born, they believe if you are a bad intentioned person, then this particular child will be sick.
Yeah.
So they make sure that they put some of these beads and some of the rocks yeah, to portray and defend to defend the child from sickness or from bad omen, because there are families or clans that also have bad omen,
Yeah.
and some also have good omen, and they have to protect them all the time. Of course, Amasa is always suspicious. So suspicion is part of his unwritten constitution.
Okay.
Indeed, very suspicion. You don't need to talk to people. Don't tell them a lot. When you drive in Maasai land and apparently you stop, the children who are hiding will just run and run and run, because they are very suspicious of outsiders who have um who are at threat to their traditions and culture. Yeah. So today you know.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So as we wind up this episode, I would like to know why you drink blood.
Wow. And I am just swallowing my mate when you call the blood, because blood is part of their food.
Mhm.
Blood is nutritious. Blood is used during occasions, and there are special events, which also forms their basic intangible cultural heritage. Um, Blood, of course, can be mixed with fats from the fat parts of the goat or the cow, and then boiled and cooked well with meat. And it brings what we call monono. This is a very, very special type of now food, okay? Of course, made from blood. Blood is also very nutritious for pregnant mothers, especially for vulnerable groups like the pregnant mothers, boys who have been just circumcised, women who have delivered and lost a lot of blood. So it replaces the lost nutrients, and even for the sick and those who are anemic, definitely you have to give blood to replace the lost blood and improve their hemoglobin level. Yeah, so that's blood. It's also red. So
Yeah.
red, yes. Favorite color, so favorite food because again of the color.
Yeah, that was an interesting episode. So stay tuned for our next episode. I will bring you more details about the Maasai and what makes them the most interesting tribe in Kenya.